everyone, welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle. So I've been away from the shop for a while. I've been doing all those summer things, camping and working and doing stuff around the house, and I've been haven't posted a video in a while, and I'm still working on this Yamaha Virago fuel system problem that I've been dealing with. And I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to drain all the gas, and I'm gonna probably clean the tank out with some really old Evaporust, and before I go and buy new Evaporust, to see how this old stuff works. I've had it around for a couple of years, and I've cleaned out probably 4 different tanks and cleaned out, you know, a bunch of different things with it. So it's well used. So it'll be a bit of a test to see how far you can go with it. It's I'm kind of curious actually. But both I got on this Yamaha, there's the main tank and there's a little auxiliary tank down below, if you're not familiar with it, and there seems to be a lot of rust coming out. So basically the bike's been sitting here a couple of weeks. I haven't even touched it since my last video on it, and I'm just gonna quickly just check the fuel. Pretty sure it's gonna be kind of an orangey, you know, ready kind of color to it, which is no good. I think there's a lot of rust suspended into the fuel, and it's just not allowing the float needle to seal properly, and then the carb leaks fuel all over the place, and you know, it's not good. It's bad for business. But yeah, so yeah, and I got a bunch of other projects. So depending on how I, you know, edit and get this video out, I don't know if this will be the first one you see in a while, or if it'll be another project I'm working on that will be the first time you see me in a while. So we'll see how it works out. This is going to probably take me a few days, you know, working on it bit by bit. I kind of want to get it out of my shop because I think I'm going to have to let these tanks sit for a while. So I want to, you know, just have a look at it right now, probably end up draining the fuel out, and then just wheel the bike out of here so I can get something else going. And, you know, and then I'll let that sit with the Evaporust for a while. And hopefully put it all together and make a nice little video for you to watch. Alright, so yeah, let's get started, eh? So the fuel line splits off into 2. One goes over here, and I've got it plugged off with this round piece of metal bar, stock, or whatever you want to call it. And so that side's plugged off, and then I'm going to go over to the other side so I can turn the key on and see what comes out. So basically, just going to pull this off. I don't want to get any more of that crappy gas in there. It's it feels weird to me, like it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost sticky in a way. Yeah, and it looks horrible, like, but so basically this stuff, so whatever's sitting at the bottom of this auxiliary tank is going to come out, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of gross looking there. Oh yeah, look at that. Pump a little bit more out. Yeah, that's no good. So bike's not going to run like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a very bad urine sample. I mean, it smells like gas, and I'm sure it would light on fire if I threw a match in there, but it's just going to plug everything up. Yeah, it's just horrible. So, yeah, so definitely going to siphon all the gas out of here and drain it out of that side one somehow without spilling it everywhere. I'll probably spill a bunch, but I'll try not to. and then get this thing prepped for some Evaporust. So this here is my gas can for the lawnmower, and it's empty. So it just so happens I need gas for the lawnmower. And I have a feeling that the first bit of gas that comes out of this tank isn't going to be too bad. I think the rusty stuff is going to be down in this lower one. But we'll see here. I'm getting some out. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot in there. Oh, got some out. Alright, so I got a little bit out. This tank's basically empty. I don't think there's a whole lot left in here. Just this side tank's gonna be full, so I think if I just keep turning this on, I'll be able to pump some of this out here. I'll just pump it out. It'll take me a while, but it'll be good to get it all out. Anyways, I'll bring you back when this is empty, and I'll take the tanks off. Okay. All right. So here's a look at that first bit that I just dumped in this pan here. And yeah, there's a bit of stuff in there. That's not from the tank, but you can see how brown and gross it is. The other stuff I'm going to put in the lawnmower. So yeah, tank's empty. So now I can go ahead and take it off. That's the little hose. There we go, there's the little hose. There we go. And we got this lead here. Okay. So here, I'll show you what I was dealing with. Yeah, so I was trying to get these hoses off. It mounts the same, like with these kind of things. That's very typical for motorcycle tank back in the day. But it's got this main hose here that feeds the other tank, and then it's got this other like a breather hose or something here. And then it looks like this. This isn't the stock hose. I had to make my own and put a 90 brass 90 in there, and then because the original one was all hard and not good. All right. So I got this other tank here. This is the auxiliary tank or secondary tank. So basically gas flows down into this one, and then it gets pumped out of this one into the carburetor. And this one doesn't really have like a very good opening, so it's really hard to clean. Well, they're both hard to clean, but this one's even harder to see in there and everything. So take this off again. remember correctly, this doesn't exactly come off very easily. I think I have to take this big hose off before I can get it out anymore. There we go. Okay. And then this comes out like so. Alright, so here's the, spilling gas. So I'm just going to go dump this out and we'll see what's in here. So I just got another tray here just so we can kind of look and see what comes out of here. There's a little bit in, oh yeah, look at that. Ugh. Yeah, it's just gross. So there's no way it's going to run very well like that. You know, there's just too much shit in there. Okay. So now we gotta clean all that out. Here's the tank upside down. I've got this piece of fuel line on the smaller outlet to a shut off. It's shut off. It shouldn't leak. And then for this other thing, I'm gonna use this as a bung. It seems I couldn't find anything the right size, so I just put that down in there. And I'll tighten this hose clamp on it, and then it should hold the Evaporust when I put it in there. So I'll make sure these are all tight because I don't want it to leak. It's kind of hard to reach this other hose clamp, so I've got this small wrench on it. It's kind of hokey, but it's what I got, and I didn't really have anything just that size to use as a bung, so that should work. There's no other holes, so I'll find a spot to put this upright, and I'll grab a funnel and I'll show you the Evaporust. Alright, here's my bucket of Evaporust. It's very old, and I'll just show you what it looks like. It's been sitting in here for a while. It's yeah, it's got like a sludge on the bottom from all the greasy parts and stuff I put in here. And over the years, I guess, last couple of years. Probably had this for 2 years. So I'm not sure how well this will work, but we're gonna give it a try. We'll just see how far you can go with Evaporust. This has got to be one of the, most extreme Evaporust tests there is, because this stuff is used big time. All right, I'm gonna get you set up over here, and I'm gonna pour this in the tank. Well, we're gonna give it the old college try here. Yummy. I don't know how much of this bucket this tank will hold, but we're gonna find out. I sure hope those bungs hold. I want this all over the shop floor. What a mess that'll be. Getting all the nasty shit in there too. Oh man, that's bad. Let's see, I don't really want to. That's pretty full. I can't really. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's pretty gross. It's all like oil and stuff that's come off the parts that I put in there. Yeah, pretty gross. I think that's all I can put in there. The rest is just sludge. But it's pretty full. Kind of see it's like pretty much right at the top there. It's like, you know, just a little bit down. But yeah, so this is kind of like the Evaporust challenge in a way, because I want to see, well, we're gonna see if it does anything to the rust in this tank. And if it does, I'll pour this out and put it in the other smaller tank and clean it out too. So this is probably going to take several days. So I'll probably cut here and then bring it back when I go to pour it out. So I'm expecting it to be probably at least a week in there or something, you know, and then probably another week in the other tank. So it's going to be a bit of a process. So it's going to be, it'll take a while to get this all put together for you. But when you're watching it, it'll be, you know, in a moment. So, all right. See you in a week. All right. Well, guys, it's been about a week, and I've had this Evaporust soaking in this tank for quite a while. I think it's time to drain it, and I'm gonna rinse it out, and we'll have a look inside and see how well this extremely used Evaporust did. So I've got myself set up with a bucket here. Just gonna pull this plug, let it drain out into here, and if it did any good, I'll use it for the smaller auxiliary tank. And while it's soaking, I'm gonna put this tank sealer in this one, and roll it around, do its thing, and then I'll let it dry and hopefully have this rust problem solved. So that's the plan. So this should just be a simple little undo this plug and let her rip. It's already starting to come out. There we go. Yeah. I'll let that drain out. And I cleaned this bucket out, by the way. If you remember from before, it was all full of sludge. I cleaned it all out. So, bucket's good to go. We'll let that drain out. And then I'm going to go rinse it out, and I'll bring it back, and we'll have a look inside. Okay. So I got my little endoscope here. I'm just going to go in and have a look around. Okay, so that's the very front corner. So that would be like right up in here. And I'll start looking around in there. Yeah, this looks pretty good so far. That's the bottom, at the front, and then let's see if I can get this. Oh, it's kind of tricky with. Okay, so that's sort of, so this is the side closest to me right here, and then so about midway where the like the fuel gauge sensor thing is. So that's there. So it's not bad. And we'll go down towards the back. Just gotta bend this a little more. Okay, so that's down towards the back. Yeah, so that's the bottom. That's past the fuel sensor. Down and towards the back. It's looking pretty clean. And then we'll go up top. So this is like the backbone thing. Okay, there's the other side. That's the other side at the front. And then down towards the back on the other side. It's really hard to maneuver this thing. There we go. And then, so this is the looking towards the back on the far side there. Looks like the very bottom. There we go. There. So that would be the far side at the back. And it's looking pretty good. I think there's some, those are water droplets that you see though there. So maybe some more time with the heat. Just let it air out. But you know, not too bad. Okay, there's the very top of the backbone part. That's the vent tube coming up. Oh, a little crusty, but there's the underside of the top of the tank. It's probably hard to see on here. But all in all, not too bad. So I think that Evaporust did a pretty good job. Let's turn this off. You know, so I think it did a pretty good job. It's amazing how that stuff can still work after all that, you know, multiple uses, and it's so dirty looking. And you know, you just put it in a tank and flush it out, and takes out all the rust. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna take what I got in that bucket and pour it into the smaller tank and get that set up, and then I'm gonna let this tank dry out some more, and then I'm gonna get it ready and prepped for putting the this tank sealer stuff. So that'll be coming up next. All right. Okay, so I got the auxiliary tank here set up, and I got this bucket of the contents from that tank. We just poured it back into the bucket. I'm just going to bail it out with this other little container here because I think it's going to be too much to handle. Let's see if I can fill this thing up. And I'm going to let this one sit for a while. Probably for a week. I think that's full. Okay. There. So you can see it's right to the top. So I'm gonna let that sit for a while, and I'll bring you back when I go to clean this one out and flush it out, and we'll seal this one too. It's a little while longer, and there's still, I was just looking down there, and there's still a little bit of moisture in here. I've been trying to dry it out with my heat gun, but I think it's going to take a while. I don't want to get all the moisture out before I put this sealer thing in. One thing I was going to do, I was going to take this cap off if I can. So I think that'll help. I don't want this flopping around. And there's to use this stuff here, there's like a metal prep thing you're supposed to put in there, and a degreaser that, well, first a degreaser and then a metal prep, and then it's like a bit of a process. I don't have the other side. I only have this portion of it. But what I was thinking of doing is getting to get this rid of some of this moisture is I'll get some methyl hydrate in here just a little bit, roll it around, and then that'll probably chase the moisture out and kind of clean the surface a bit. At least that's what I'm thinking of doing anyways. I just gotta get a couple things ready on here. I'm gonna take this off. There. Okay. I bought this little plug kit. It was like really cheap. It was like 12 bucks on Amazon. And what it is, it's all these different plugs, different sizes. Because, you know, when you go to plug a little hole, you're like, you know, what can I use? What can I use? And you can just grab one like that. Just fit it in there. Right? Yeah, so I was gonna plug that like so. And I don't know if we have a really small one. No, probably not. And I'll just put this fuel line thing on here again. Plug this hole. Put this up like so. And then, so I've got some methyl hydrate here. This stuff's really good for chasing out water, and it'll evaporate really quick. So I'm going to try to put some of that in there and giving it a slosh around. That was it. And let's see if I got a cap for the top. I'll just put this one in here like so. Just barely fits, but it does. I'll take this to the side. And I'll just take this plug out. I'll drain the methyl hydrate into here. Let's get this. See if I can get this out. There. I'm gonna hit that with my air compressor. So I've decided I'm just gonna have to wait until tomorrow or thereabouts. I gotta let this dry before I can put any of the tank sealer in. So that's okay. I'll bring you back when I go to put this in. That'll give me time to prep it up and get that all ready, and hopefully I'll get this thing sealed up and ready to use soon. So it's the next day now. And I've had this dry overnight and all day. It's late afternoon, and it's all dry now, so I'm ready to put the sealer in. I was just gonna have a quick look and make sure there's no moisture anywhere. Double check. Yeah, it looks good. Hard to control this thing. So now I got a couple things I want to do to prep this tank before I put the sealer in. I got these holes here I want to plug up. This one is like a vent tube, and I was thinking I was gonna stick a wire up it, see how far I can get a wire up it, and that way I can pull the wire out when I'm done, and hopefully it won't, you know, fill back in with the sealer. I'm not sure where this comes out. Just gonna keep pushing it in. Something like that, and then I don't think any of the sealer is going to come out of here, at least too much anyways, but I want to be able to make sure it doesn't fill in with that stuff. So I'm just going to take this around there. So yeah, just gonna stick this plug in so it doesn't leak out of there, and then I'm gonna tape it on. Just so it doesn't, you know, pop off while I'm doing this. And when I'm done, I'll take the tape off, and that should be good. Okay, so that's done. And then the plan here is I'm going to fill some of the sealer in, and I'm going to cap it off with this, and then maybe just run some tape over it so it doesn't fall out, because I'm going to have to roll this around a bunch. Now this tank sealer, you're supposed to use it with a, you know, degrease the tank, and then they want you to use the metal prep stuff that they sell you, and then put this on. So it's kind of like a 3-stage thing. I'm just going to use the tank sealer because, you know, the stuff's expensive, and I've used it with just the tank sealer before, and it worked out pretty good. So that's what I'm going to do again. I'm not going to pour this whole thing in. I'm going to maybe 2/3 of it, because I want to save some for the other auxiliary tank. So I'm just going to shake this up, and I'll get a funnel, and we'll put it in. Alright, so I've been shaking this up for a little while now. So I'm ready to open it up and pour it in. And then I'll start twirling it around and getting it to run in everywhere. I'll save a little bit for the other tank. Like that. There we go. We'll put our little cork on top. I don't want this dropping through because it's pretty close to dropping through. I wish I had a little bit bigger cork, but I don't. It wasn't easy finding something that big that I could block that off with. I didn't want to use the regular fuel cap because it's got like venting and stuff in here, and I didn't want to, you know, plug them off with that sealer, so I wouldn't use the stock cap for this. I don't think that would be a good idea. I don't really want that stuff coming out anywhere, running down the outside of the tank. It's probably not going to be easy to get off, so something like that. And then just take your tank and yeah, just run this stuff all over the place there. Yeah, so basically I'm gonna come out here every, you know, half an hour and just, you know, rotate the tank around for a little while. And I want to set it up like this, and, you know, set it up like this, and just keep turning it around, you know, various ways, you know, until all that rolls around in there and covers everything, and hopefully we'll have a new freshly lined tank when I'm done here. That's the hope anyways. It's weird. I don't hear it sloshing around, so I think it's, hopefully I got enough in there. But we'll see. There's quite a lot of surface area in there, so yeah. Yeah, so that's that. So I'm gonna, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna roll this around a bunch, and then I'll bring you guys back when I go to take this off and have a look in there, and we'll see how it did. I'm probably gonna have to let it cure for, you know, at least 24 hours. I don't plan on putting any fuel in it for a while anyways, but you know, it'll be probably the next day before I, you know, look in here and have a look around. All right. Okay, so it's about 4 or 5 days later since the last flip there, and I've got this stuff and it's all cured in there now. I'm just gonna get the camera going here. You can kind of see in here, and I'll just show you on the screen what it looks like. So now everything's coated. There's the other side. But as you can see, it's all, you know, coated in there pretty good. Yeah, there's down the back side of the other side. It's looking pretty good. I don't think I'll have any rust issues with that. So yeah, pretty happy about that. So this tank's done, and so I'm gonna put this off to the side, and it'll keep curing as I do the other tank. So now I'm gonna switch my attention to this tank. This is the smaller auxiliary tank, and it's been sitting here with that really well used Evaporust probably for about 5 days now. And I'm just gonna take it, drain it out. I'm gonna flush this thing out with water and dry it, and then put the remainder of this this tank sealer stuff in it, and get this tank done. So I just want to see what comes out of here. Yeah, just don't see too many chunks. I'll pull the hoses off, and I'll go run a bunch of water through this, and I'll clean this out, and I'll bring you back. I'll try to stick the camera down there. I don't think I'll be able to see much. We'll see. We'll give it a try anyways. Just going to show you guys, I dumped some of this Evaporust out, but there's all these rust chunks that came out of there. And you can see some floating in the top of this stuff. So it definitely took quite a bit out. So I'm going to put that off to the side for now. And so here's the tank. I've flushed it out thoroughly with water, and I've blown it out with the air compressor. And now I'm just gonna run a little bit of methyl hydrate in there just to flush out the moisture. And I don't know if this is the right idea or not. This is just something I come up with just to get rid of the moisture. Just methyl hydrate's good for chasing out moisture and stuff. They kind of counteract, and the moisture fizzles out. And so I think that's a good idea, but I won't know until, you know, everything delaminates. But you might hear it fizzle a little bit when I pour this in. It shouldn't take much. Yeah. Just cover these up and slosh it around. Okay, I'm going to try to go down inside this tank here and have a look. Yeah, not the greatest. So it looks like there's some flaky stuff in here, and I'm thinking I might try to find something I could slip down in there, like some small nuts or something, and then plug all this off, and then, you know, slosh it around and try to break some of that flaky stuff off, and then you know, rinse it out, and then get it ready for the cure seal stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, and try to get some of that flaky stuff off. All right. I was just looking around my shop, and I happened across these little self-tapping screws. I'm going to drop, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 screws, and I'm going to put this tube back on to stop it from leaking out, and then I'm going to fill it up with some stuff, shake it around, and see if we can't get some of that other crud off of it. Alright, that's the plan. There. I'll shake this up, and then we'll drain it out again. So yeah, I'm gonna shake this for a while, and then I'll bring it back. We'll have another look. Okay, so I've shaken this up for quite a while now. It should be a lot cleaner in there. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, I'm gonna open this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Oh my god. I'm going to show you what came out of that thing. Here's all my little screws, and all this, like this pan was clean when I dumped all the contents in here. There's all this flaky stuff, but yeah, there's a bunch over here. It was loaded full of crap. Yeah, well, there's your problem. Ain't gonna run like that. Okay, I'm gonna go and have a look down there again. If I can get it around the corner. Oh yeah, it looks way better. There. So now you can kind of see in there now. It's looking way better. Oh yeah. You can kind of see the corner of it there. You know. So I think I can seal that now. I've got all the loose stuff off. It's down to basically bare metal. I think that's the other corner there. So it's looking about as good as it's gonna get. That's not bad though. Right on. So I'm just gonna let that kind of air out a bit longer, and then I'm gonna get it ready to put the cure, the tank sealer stuff on there. And yeah, and hopefully I'll be done with this segment, the saga, the never-ending rusty fuel tank problem. Just gonna cut a couple wires just to stick down these little outlets here. I worry about them plugging up with that stuff, so at least if I have the wire down there, I can pull it out just before it gets hard, and there'll still be a hole through there. It's just something that's on my mind. So I thought I'd take this and just kind of twist it, put it down the hole, and then I'll tape it. And then that way that'll hold that in there, and then I'll pull that out before it gets like hard, and then it'll, won't be stuck in there. And then I'll set it like this to cure, and then hopefully those holes won't plug up. That's the plan. This one's got a bit of a bend to it, so see if I can get this in there somewhat. Get it kind of started. There we go. Yeah. And then I'll put some tape around that one. And then, yeah, so I'll take this, I'll pour the stuff in, and then I'll cork it off, roll it all around, and then I'll keep turning it every so often, like I did the other tank, like, every which way, and then yeah, and then it should be good. I'm ready for the grand finale now. This has had a chance to, air out, dry out a bit. So I'm just gonna put that down there. Grab my sealer. Let's give it one last little stir up here. I'm just gonna pour the whole thing down. Hopefully that'll be enough to get around everywhere. It should be just enough. Then I'll start pouring this around. I'll just, something like that. And I'll just set it down and just keep rotating it, every so often. I'll just keep turning it around, and yeah, that should be good in a little bit. All right, I'll bring you back when that's all done. Okay, it's the next day now, and this has had time to sit overnight, and I've moved this all the way around and got the sealer everywhere in there, and just going to get the camera down inside and just show you what it looks like. Alright, so I'm just going in now. kind of see in there. That stuff does a pretty good job of coating the surface. See if I can turn that light down a little bit. And yeah. So I don't think I'll have any problems with rust leaching out into the gas for a while. Let's pull this out. So I'm pretty happy with that, the way it worked out. It should keep the rust out of the fuel now. So it's going to take me a little bit to get the tanks back on the bike. I got to put the carburetors back on, make sure they're clean. And I should have no problems getting it running after getting all this done. So that's great. It took me a little while to get this video all put together. A couple weeks in the making, just because I had to wait for stuff to, you know, activate and do its thing, and then, you know, turning the tanks and everything. So it, you know, it takes a little while doing these tanks, especially when, you know, I'm working full time and stuff, and I'm kind of doing this on the side. So that's why it took a little while to get the video out. But I got lots of good stuff coming up in the shop. Gonna be working on the Honda CB650. Gonna be putting some different exhaust on it. I'm gonna go back to the stock OEM exhaust, so that's really exciting. I've been wanting to do that for a while. And I got the Husqvarna FE350 here. Gonna be doing a full tune-up and everything. And I've got a running issue with this one. It's it keeps shutting off, and I'm not quite sure what it is. It might be fuel pressure problem. The bike's fuel injected, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Could be a matter of just changing the filter. I don't know. But yeah, so I got that coming up, and yeah, and plenty of other stuff too. But yeah, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. I really enjoy making these videos, and I hope you guys like watching them. And stay tuned for more videos. And I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. Center Stand Mechanics out.